This is Ralph Irvin in the Yates Gymnasium, home of the UCLA Gymnastics team. We're here with UCLA head coach Valorie Kondos Field. And Coach, take it back to a Friday night on the road at Southern Utah. Recap the meet for us.
Well, our goal going into the meet was to put up our depth and to see who we had. Because just because we have bodies doesn't mean we have depth. And as far as that's concerned, we satisfied our goal because I got to see very clearly what our depth is. There were quite a few very disappointing performances. Just people that are ready in the gym and got into competition and didn't perform, didn't come through. Why is always the question. We seem to have gone through this last year as well. And I feel from a coaching standpoint that we have been training hard, but we haven't been training with purpose. And, you know, that whole scenario, you can get very psychological about it. People ask me, is it becoming the reigning national champs or this and that? Or, being the reigning national champs. I don't know. All I know is that the girls work hard, but there doesn't seem to be a sense of purpose towards their daily training. And that is bleeding into our competition. So we had, as you can imagine, a very long meeting after the meet. I encouraged the girls to speak freely and honestly about what they're feeling. And since then, we've had another meeting Monday morning before we started up again, and training has been different this week. I feel without question that they're training with a purpose. We're actually making more mistakes than I think we used to in here, but I feel their intent is different.
Well, one thing that's certainly different this week in practice, following some injuries on Friday, can you update the status on some of those?
Well, it was really sad. We got to the meet and we were warming up. We started on bars and we went to vault. And Monique De La Torre did a huge vault, huge layout full vault, and then bounced out of it backwards. Bounced off the mat, sprains her ankle. She was slated to go all around for the first time since she's been here at UCLA. So she's out. She can't compete one event. Obviously, that changed up our lineup substantially. We did not do well at all on bars, vault, or floor. Went to beam. Finally we put together a great beam rotation. Very, very sad for Mizuki Sato. She did a beautiful beam routine anchoring for us, and she actually did a very good dismount, better than she normally does, round off double full. She landed it, felt her knee go sideways, ACL, and more than likely career-ending injury for her. That was very, very sad. Had that not happened, I wouldn't have had such a sick feeling about the meet. I would have just been upset, not that sick feeling.
Well, you talk about the beam, and that was actually one of the highlights from Friday was the team bouncing back with strong beam performance.
Yeah, and it's like I said, we put our lineup up knowing that we were either going to either do great or we could bomb, or somewhere in between. Whenever we put a lineup up like this, there's no guarantees, but we know that going in. It's hard to go into a meet. It's hard on your ego because you want to just take everybody out and put in your A team that you know is going to do well to win the meet. But that wasn't the purpose of the goal of the meet. The goal was to see where our depth is and to see who's going to rise up. And it was great to see our freshman on beam rise up. Olivia Courtney, I've been working with her a lot on performing on beam, and she's starting to do it. And so that was wonderful to see, and it was great to see Sid Sawa go up and hit so well. So I started with Aisha on beam. I think I'm going to mix it up again and I think we're going to start with Nikki this coming weekend and have Elise anchor, because Mizuki was our anchor. So I think we're going to move Elise back to anchor and put Nikki up and see how that goes.
Well, and we talked about performing last week. You talk about Olivia Courtney and Sydney Sawa. They've definitely stepped up and are performing great as freshmen.
They are performing beautifully. They're so much fun to coach because they're hungry and they're buying into everything, and they'll make changes daily. So it's fun to see them grow up in this collegiate environment. They're great to work with, and like I said, we saw where our depth was. It's never fun to have a meet like that. I mean, just furious with them, and didn't give them any pats on the back, that's for sure, that night. But we need to train with more of a purpose. We need to know what that purpose is, and it's not just, ooh, let's win a national championship again. It's how are we going to get there? And the team got they got a slap in the face this weekend that they brought on themselves, and they're responding well to it. So we'll see what comes up this weekend. I obviously anticipate this weekend to have much different results.
Well, and you talk about this weekend on the road up to the Bay Area.
Yep, going up to the Bay Area. We compete against Stanford and Oregon State 4 times this year because of the Pac-10 preview, and then we're all going to IGI. But it's a great rivalry that we've developed, and Stanford, as they've proven, are very tough to beat. So it will be a great meet for us to bounce back to, and we're going to take a skeleton crew up there. We're going to leave, some people at home for various reasons, and I anticipate our team being much more focused for 4 events, not just for 2 events here and 1 event there.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much.
It's UCLA head coach Valorie Kondos Field. The Bruins in action this weekend on the road, again taking on Stanford and Oregon State. Of course, for the best news and notes on UCLA gymnastics, you get it all right here. UCLABruins.com.